And welcome back. I have to tell you, I'm extremely thrilled to have our next guest with us. A very distinguished name, personality in the world of golf, and here in South Carolina, Mike Harmon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for being here today, Mike. Pleasure having you here.
Yeah, if you're around these parts and have been around these parts any length of time, you're going to recognize Mike. He has been the director of golf, the membership director, the head pro at Secession Golf Club over in Beaufort since 1986.
Correct.
And oftentimes when I have a guest, I will send them or email them and say, send me a list of a few of your credentials and awards. And I got about 6 pages from Mike, so we need to get busy here. Mike's got, as I said, a very distinguished and esteemed career. Let's start from, let's say, 1976, where you were an Atlanta native.
Correct.
And you, I think, won the 76 Georgia Pub Links Championship.
I did.
And that sort of started you. You've been playing golf most of your life, but that sort of started you into your golfing playing career.
Yeah, that was the first significant win, and
Yeah.
that sort of proved that I could play. And it kind of took off from there. As we said, Eastlake gave me a junior membership right after that.
You mentioned that. Yeah, you saw somebody special there at Eastlake, didn't you?
I did. Prior to being a member, I saw Bobby Jones.
Did you really?
I was playing,
Wow.
and I was 15. This was 69. He died in 71. Never forget it. All white, in a golf cart, in a wheelchair, giving a lesson on the practice day.
Who was the lucky recipient of that lesson?
I wish
you know?
I'd gone over there. I should have just gone over and shaken his hand. Somebody should have told me to do that, I guess. But but Eastlake was always special to me, and that came along after that win, and then it kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like it was spiraling. It sounded like it was
Spiraling
yeah, spiraling upward. A graduate of University of Middle Tennessee. You went on in 1980 to earn your PGA Tour card and played for what, 2 years? 3 years?
I did, a couple of years.
Couple years out there.
Pinehurst, that was a big deal. Made it right on the number.
What'd you do on the last hole? Last hole coming in, you
It's a
did
funny
what?
story. I had, it was at Pinehurst 6, which was a very hard golf course. Even par won it.
Wow.
10 over got the card. 4 days at that point. You had 2 schools a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. And I had, I knew I was close. I was even the last day, and even on a hard golf course and under those conditions works.
Sure.
I zipped a 5-iron in there about 20, 25 feet and gave it a good run. I ran about 3-4 feet by.
Oh.
And I was going to stand in somebody's line if I finished that. I wanted to finish that. And I just walked over to the guy who he wasn't going to make it. So look, I hate to stand in your line, but I'm going to putt this one right now. Stood right in his line, knocked it home.
Oh my God!
Good for you.
And got
That's
in on the
awesome.
number. I didn't want to wait around for that one, and it opened up a door for me that I was not a great player. I was a good player, and I worked hard. But that gave me something that they'll never take away. I'm always now a former PGA Tour player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you're out there for 10 minutes. You get that card, will always be a former PGA Tour player.
I can imagine. I know I was fortunate enough to do open qualifying in 1995, and I qualified for the Greater Hartford Open, and just playing in one event was very, very exciting for me. So I can imagine what being a member of the tour for a full year plus would have been like. You
Well,
know?
and it opened up the door for me in the club pro career as well, because I was still a good player, and I lost my playing rights a couple of years later. I was out in the old system, the Monday qualifying system, which was very
Top
hard.
60.
And it was breaking down at that point. So I was quickly dispatched after a couple of years and made my way down here.
Well, and you made your way down here, and I understand you qualified for the 2004 Heritage.
I did.
That's got to be a lot of fun to play here in the old
In front of family and friends.
family and friends, our backyard here. But more importantly, you qualified for the the very recent 2010 British Senior Open at Carnoustie.
I did. I was on the leaderboard for a few minutes.
I think I might remember that.
I turned
actually.
it 1 under, and
Wow,
on the front
fun.
side, and then the back side just kicked me in the butt.
Well,
You're not the only one that's had their butt kicked by
got a
a
legend.
It's a hard golf course,
Lot
but
of teeth, yeah.
what a treat. It was a real delight, and I go over there still a good bit. Now I'll continue to try that for a couple more years.
Absolutely.
I think I can get in the hunt on that. I think I can make the cut.
You can still move it around well enough.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, I think it's important that our viewers not only understand, you know, Mike's playing credentials, because they're pretty awesome, but he's been a terrific asset to our section and the PGA. And I'm just going to read off to you some of the things that he's done. He was the 2000 Carolinas PGA Merchandiser of the Year for the private clubs, the 2002 Carolina PGA Horton Smith Award winner. 2004, he was the Carolinas and the National Merchandiser of the Year amongst private clubs. I mean, to win a national award is very awesome. Yes, is very awesome. In 2006, he won the Bill Strasbaugh Award here in the Carolinas section. In 2008, he was the Carolinas PGA Professional of the Year. And just as, or in 2010, he was elected as the 41st inductee into the Carolinas Golf Hall of Fame. So I think those are just tremendous things to have on your resume. And, you know, it shows that not only can you play, but you've really cared about the PGA. You know, you've been a mentor to many, many people. And that's something that I know a lot of us professionals certainly appreciate, because it helps our business and it makes us better professionals all around.
I think it's a responsibility. I think we have to take care of the kids coming up. And I've been blessed with a lot of great kids to come along. Mark Anderson, the young kid that's playing on the tour now, came up through the club, and that's very cool to see one go that far. You know, you give an opportunity to somebody and see someone take it all the way is very neat. So,
well, and all the people you touch at the club, you know, Secession being a national golf club, people come from all over the country, and, you know, needless to say, with your game and all the things you've done for them, you've touched a lot of their lives. So I know that a lot of them appreciate it very much.
Well, Secession being a international club has a big reach, and so I'm touched by that.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's move into that. We've got about 3 minutes left. I wanted you to talk about Secession. You've been there since '86. Secession is a unique club for a number of reasons. But tell us about the history, what the general premise there was, and where you stand today.
Well, it was always to be a international club. We have a big membership. We have over 800 members that all live away, basically. There's a few locals. We have a few on Hilton Head, a few in Savannah, a few in Charleston. But they come there. They take 2 or 3 trips a year, maybe 4, 3-4 days at a clip, and then they leave. We keep housing. We do 13,000 rounds. We almost do 10,000 bed nights a year. So we keep them on site. And so the structure was very much like Pine Valley, a big membership, and the original architects of the club and the presidents since then have protected that beautifully.
Do you have the turtle soup like Pine Valley?
Chowder.
Chowder. Of course.
And blackened grouper sandwiches. No
that
telling how many
yummy.
of those we serve up. But it is very special. And it's very quiet. Most of the people in the Low Country don't know much about it because it's not really contingent on the local community.
Right.
It sits there in that beautiful little spot. And the members come there, I think, to play golf, but they also come there to just get away.
Yeah.
They're insulated, they're protected.
It's a retreat.
They're there for 3 or 4 days. They're high-profile people, predominantly New York City and Chicago and those points in between. I can't fathom how good it must be for them just to sit on the back porch, have a few beers, sit with their buddies.
Look out on the marsh and the golf course and just relax and decompress.
They're protected.
Yep. It's nice for those of us who live here to do that.
That is.
I can't imagine them coming from the high-pressured world of maybe a Wall Street or you know, what have you, to come out of that environment and be able to get here in the Low Country with the pristine environment and
That's what's
tranquility.
Made it. I was telling those boys yesterday, we had a Titleist event yesterday, and it was it's a great test of golf. It's superbly manicured. It has to be. They come from the Wingfoots and Medinas of the world.
Who's the course designer?
Bruce Devlin.
Bruce Devlin. Yeah.
But it's far better. It's a much prettier walk. It's just a gorgeous walk, and it's mandatory walking. So with caddies. So it's,
I think you mentioned
a great setting.
There's only 2 carts on the premises.
2 carts.
And your job is to make sure that there's not 3.
Not 3.
Nice. I like that. That's perfect.
He said he catches a lot of grief for that.
A lot of grief for that. Members wonder why I'm getting paid for just protecting for 1 cart.
Mike is protecting the tradition.
You got to do what you do.
I'm the guardian. I'm the guardian.
Well, what a pleasure it is to have you.
Oh,
Thanks
again.
Thanks,
I've
been trying to get you on the show for some time.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for making the trip over here. And we're neighbors. We butt up to each other, and again, thanks from all of us for the service that you've given to this
pleasure.
industry.
And on
My
behalf of
pleasure.
the PGA, thank you so much for mentoring so many of us and being, a resource that we can count on to help us out when we need it.
Honor. It's an
Absolutely.
honor. Absolute honor.
Well, that is all the time we have this week on Golf Weekly. We're happy you joined us. And on behalf of Chris Tremblay, Mike Harmon here, our special guest, we will see you next week.